Hello everybody and welcome back. And it's good to actually be back. Vacation's done. I've had a little bit of relaxing time, although the drive to and from Florida was a bit taxing. And yeah, driving overnight in the pitch dark, not getting much sleep hasn't done too much good for me. I think I'm actually getting a bit sick as well. So, making a video before I come down with something really bad and knocks me out for another couple of days. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully not. Crossing my fingers. Anyway, so what am I going to do in this video? Well, one, I'm going to announce the winner of the Dasha pictures, and two, we're going to talk a little bit about the Missouri. So, first up, let's do the Dasha pictures. Here are the 5 people. If your name pops up, yes, these are the comments from the last video. If you are here, send me a message on YouTube. Figure out how to send me a message on YouTube, and we'll work out all the details then. So, congratulations, and of course, I will get you your photos to you ASAP. So, next topic. Oh, actually, before I talk about the Missouri, I will have some other pretty sweet videos of the museum visits coming up. Visited 3 museums, and so there's a lot of stuff coming in that regard, although it's going to take me probably a bit to actually make the videos and upload them and everything else. So, a little bit of patience, please. Alright, so let's talk about the Missouri. Yeah, I know. The NA contributors, a lot of them have already done videos of the Missouri. I wasn't around, and then by the time I got back, Missouri was gone, so I asked for it back to actually do a review of it. So, what's up with the Missouri, and should you really spend 750,000 free experience to get her? Well, it's an interesting question. My experience with the Missouri so far is that she's actually quite good. She's actually quite a good ship. In fact, even better than the Iowa. So, in that sense, she's a good ship. Now, of course, the question is she worth 750,000 for experience? Maybe. It really depends on you. If you really like the Iowa and you want a better version of her, and you like to play battleships, then sure. If you're a historical collector and you want to collect every ship based on how they were historically in terms of importance and whatnot, then go for it. If you also happen to be sitting on a large pile of free experience, then you want something good, something that earns well, and it's tier 9. It's the only tier 9 premium in the game right now, so in that kind of scenario, yeah, trade for it. She's worth it. Of course, this is also going to head in the direction of, is she too expensive at 750,000 for experience? And my answer to that question is, no, she's not. I've seen threads on the forums, I've seen posts by people saying that, the actual EXP cost should be maybe around like 500,000. And my answer to that is no, because if you look at the cost of, how much it takes in terms of experience to get up to tier 9, you're looking at 816,000 for a fully upgraded Iowa. So 750k is actually a small bargain. It's pricey. I'm not gonna deny that it is pricey. It's a lot of free experience, but it's not like, oh, this is a horrible ripoff of a deal. Because if you were to actually use free experience to try to get up to an Iowa, you'd actually be shelling out quite a bit more. So, onto the Missouri itself. How is she? Well, I've played with her a good amount of battles, and I think she's quite a solid ship. I mean, she's got the strengths, all the strengths of the Iowa. Her AA is good. She's a very, very fast, speedy battleship, but she's also a little bit different than the Iowa. If you take a look at the Missouri's armor versus the Iowa's armor, in certain places the Missouri actually has slightly better armor protection. So she should have a little bit of an edge when it comes to potentially taking less damage from enemy fire. She also doesn't have a scout plane. The Missouri, instead of getting a scout plane, instead gets radar, which can definitely surprise some destroyers. Destroyers that have to get closer to you. If you can predict where they are, you pop a radar, and it's something that sometimes they're not really all that ready for. So, definitely an advantage. And of course, if you're with cruisers, you guys can make a pretty formidable combination there. So, how would you set up the Missouri? Well, the setup for the Missouri in terms of captain skills and modules is identical to that of the Iowa. So you're going to go with probably main armaments modification 1. You're probably going to go with the A module next. Then you're probably going to go with the module that improves dispersion. Then you're probably going to go Damacon, rudder, and probably go concealment. And in terms of captain skills, you're probably going to go basics of survivability, expert marksman, superintendent, AFT, and concealment expert, built in exactly the same way as the Iowa. In terms of her main gun's performance, again, with that dispersion module, you can get very, very nice dispersion. But again, aiming is really important. Like, you have to have good aim to really get the most out of these guns. So let's say in this particular case, against an enemy broadside Iowa, fire salvo, and you can see that the shells are actually nicely grouped together. It doesn't look like it, but if you look at the initial salvo as it's going out, shells look pretty good. And there's my 3 citadels killing off that Iowa. Strangely enough, in one of my games, I was thinking I was going up against Friedrich the Gross. About like 16 to about 18 kilometers there. I was able to get some pretty good deck pens as well against that Friedrich. This was another game actually, and it was just, I think I got like 4 citadels against the Friedrich. Yeah, the Friedrich driver was absolutely just like incredulous, like, what is going on? I'm angled and you're still getting citadels. And I think it's just the way that the shell's going through the deck and everything. So definitely possible for you at the right kind of ranges to actually get those kinds of citadels as well. In terms of playstyle, so that's really important. If you're playing a Missouri, what's the playstyle? Well, the Missouri, again, has a very similar playstyle to that of the Iowa. You are very fast battleship. You are very much able to keep up with the cruisers on your team. And so really you should never be caught alone. And I've had a few matches where I got caught alone and was punished quite badly. Don't ask me what happened to that salvo there. I mean, still got 12,000 damage, but sometimes you do have a little bit of a wild salvo here and there. But all in all, I still find the Missouri salvos to be quite consistent, mind you. Alright, so back to what I was talking about earlier. In terms of playstyle, right, where you should be with the Missouri. Well, the Missouri is, I mentioned earlier, it's better to be with your team. And it just works better that way. You're fast enough to keep pace with your cruisers, and your destroyers. So if you're able to stick relatively close to them, other teams are going to find your little ball to be hard to deal with. You're going to be able to shoot at their cruisers and maybe do things like that and just eliminate them. You're going to be able to deal with their battleships and even destroyers, which normally are the bane of battleships and a cruiser force. Well, if they come too close, you've got radar, and if you've got cruisers, that destroyer is going to have a really, really bad day. And mind you should totally keep an eye out on chat. That Takao that I just absolutely demolished had a pretty funny response in chat. And of course, yeah, you get these very nice sort of shots, these nice salvos where your dispersion's nice, or at least it's arrayed in a way where if you hit stuff, it hurts. And so, yeah, that Belfast pretty much got melted. The Takao got absolutely melted. Yep, I mean, the times I've played with the Missouri, I've had fun. Although, if I looked at my statistics for the Missouri, it's actually right on par with my Iowa stats. Now, it might be just because I'm rusty after not having played for like 2 whole weeks. That actually is a factor too. I mean, just like the first day I came back and tried to play Warships, it's like, whoa, everything is a lot different right now. So that might just be that. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much what you're supposed to do with the Missouri. Just keep pace with the fast ships on your team, make sure you blob up with them, and just mutually support them, and of course have them support you, and you should be able to do just fine. Being caught alone, however, not all that fun. I had a battle yesterday where I think I got caught by myself, and that just wasn't all that good. Do have to say, though, the other thing about the Missouri that makes her pretty special, in my opinion, is that she really does generate credits like crazy. I had a battle where I did I think it was my second battle on the ship, and still figuring her out, did like 60k damage, something like that. made almost 500,000 credits. So she does have a tendency of printing money, so that's definitely an advantage for her. And there, so see, their Benson stealthed up. I popped radar, able to get shots off, and of course help my team spot that Benson as well. And that Benson not having a good day. See, so Missouri, I think, is a pretty darn good ship, and I've explained that the price tag of 750,000 free experience is not excessive. I mean, it's actually cheaper to get the Missouri than to grind up all the way to the Iowa. Although I do have to admit, free experience is not always the easiest thing to accumulate. So using flags and stuff like that might be quite important. Still, I mean, if you are patient and you take your time with it, I think this is definitely a ship that is worthwhile to get. Anyways, so this battle is pretty much done. Both the enemy destroyers pretty much just vanish, and we don't really see them again. And also, I'm starting to feel like I am really starting to come down with something. As I've recorded this video, my nose has started to run a lot more, and I've been sneezing and everything. So I think I'm starting to just, I don't know, I'm coming down with something. So I'm just gonna, I guess, skip ahead to the results screen, because really nothing happens, and it's a pretty easy win for us. We take this cap. The other destroyer on the enemy team has actually gone north and contests C, but we end up just capping out, and that's all there is for the rest of this particular battle. And the results screen. So 163,000 damage, got 7 Citadel hits, 44 target hits, 2 ships destroyed, 8,721 experience. That's pretty good. 437 free experience, 860,000 credits. So that's a sizable chunk of credits, mind you. Of course, if you do take away all the consumables and everything, it's not going to be that amount. I do think I remember making around 700,000 credits in this particular battle. I also managed to get Confederate, got a devastating strike there. In terms of base experience, 2,280, which is quite a nice amount when you are in a battleship and a good distance away from second place. Then, of course, there we go. That was my ending credit gain, 709,488 with a premium. Had I been on a free account, would have still made close to 422,000. So that's quite a good amount of credits if you don't even run premium, mind you. All right, so anyways, folks, I'm going to take off again. I'm going to go get some more rest and hopefully, maybe get over this thing quickly. Do keep in mind that I will be having some pretty nice videos of actual museum ships coming in the next little while, so stay tuned for that. Aside from all that, take care, have a great one, and I'll talk to all of you again soon.